Yer. I look exactly like that guy, Jay. What's going on, guys? How's everyone in chat doing today? Good morning, as they say on that Kanye song. Sorry for being a little bit late today. Actually, I won't apologize because this was on purpose. When there is a game being played in London or in Germany, whenever the early game is, from the past couple of years, I have found that basically not no one shows up, but the viewership is significantly lower. So I figured it's just not even worth it to fire up super early. So going forward, whenever there's a game in the morning, the stream will start a little bit later, close to like 11:45, 11:50. Though I will consider streaming the whole entire Dolphins game in Germany. Me just talking about the game. Don't know how interested people would actually be in that, especially considering the Dolphins probably lose. And I'll get a little angry, but it would be a fun time. So thank you guys all for stopping in. Appreciate all you guys. Make sure you guys hit the like button on the way in. Let me go ahead and put the poll in here, and then we'll start answering some questions. Did you hit the like button? Question mark. Yes. No. Damn, there's the poll for y'all. Apparently that poll, I don't know why that works, right? I just assume everyone hits the like button when they come in, but the fucking likes on the stream on Thursday were insane. We had like 300 likes or something ridiculous like that, which is just unheard of. So I'm not watching the game anymore. If the game is still going on, I have no idea, but make sure you guys hit that like button. We're gonna start answering some questions here. I really appreciate you guys all stopping by. Yo, 100% Nick. Would love to tune in for the Fin stream. All right, love that. What do we do with Myers or Cooper? Two backup quarterbacks. What would you do? I'm going to be honest with you. I haven't moved Cooper down the rankings too much. I didn't have him ranked super high in general. So, like, you're basically stuck starting Cooper. I don't think DTR, I don't really remember what his exact first name is, the quarterback of the Browns. Nick, you're supposed to be a fantasy expert. How do you not remember his name? Well, his nickname is DTR because that's his first and last, like, initial type thing there. He's all right. He's going to run a lot. I would suspect that if anyone was going to get the ball, though, in the Browns offense, the ball is just going to be funneled towards him. So I think Amari Cooper will be fine. And then when it comes to Jacoby Myers, I think he'll be fine as well. Like, how much worse is Aiden O'Connell compared to Jimmy Garoppolo, right? It's not like any of us really think Jimmy Garoppolo is the second coming of Patrick Mahomes or something out there. So it doesn't affect me too much, if I'm being honest with you. Like, I think the game will be just fine. Like, I think Aiden O'Connell will be fine. Like, the guy you can't worry about is Devontae Adams. Devontae Adams has dominated with quarterbacks you've probably never even heard of as the starting quarterback of the team. So don't panic about them. What's the Zeke news? So the Zeke news is that Ezekiel Elliott is going to be the starting running back or get starting snaps this week for the Patriots. Now, what does that mean in reality? Who knows, right? Does this really mean that we're going to see Zeke out there as much as Ramondre? Maybe. I just don't get it. As someone that's been watching Zeke run, I mean, I don't think Zeke looks that good. Does Zeke look fine? Yeah. Yeah, he does. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I would be hard pressed to see them fucking run Zeke more than Ramondre, but you never know at this point. Alrighty. I'm uploading my updated rankings to Patreon here, and then we're going to be able to answer more questions at a quicker rate. Full PPR, Sanders, McKinnon, Hall, CH. I'd go Sanders. B-Rob or Brees? Definitely B-Rob. Apparently, what I read today is that the leash on Zach Wilson is super low. Like, if Zach Wilson fucks up big time in this game, like, apparently the locker room is just too much in shambles to handle this. Like, if things go bad again, it's going to go very, very sour for that team. And to be honest with you, I get it, right? You're a team that had Super Bowl destiny, right? According to most Jets fans. And now your team's a fucking disaster with Zach Wilson under center. So I get it. I mean, I'd be lying if I said I didn't get it. Start Connor A-Chain today. I'd go. Man, that's basically like a coin flip. I think Connor's safer, but I'd probably go A-Chain due to the matchup. Warren or Hubbard? I would go Warren. I don't think you can play. I just don't think you can play Hubbard, if I'm being honest with you. It's not like Sanders was ruled out, right? Miles Sanders. Is Miles Sanders playing today? He's got a groin. He's questionable. He's probably going to play. So I don't really think you can start Hubbard. I don't know why I keep saying, fuck, I just dropped my phone, boys. And gals, because there's at least one woman watching the stream. Tyler Higbee, active. Roshan gradually going to see an enhanced role, whatever that means. And then, all right, there we go. Thank you for the super chat. Daniel, enjoying Toy Story football. I was, actually. To be honest with you guys, I don't have ESPN Plus. So I just watched the Toy Story version. It was kind of cool. Obviously, like, I don't know. I honestly don't understand how that works, like how they're able to animate in real time. Now, again, I guess that's why I am a fantasy football analyst and not some fucking animator, but that shit is crazy. So yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. And I assume a lot of people are watching it that way. At least a majority of my friends, that's how they were watching. So thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate it. The question here is, enjoying Toy Story football. Need a wide receiver and a flex. DJ Moore, Jacoby Myers, and George Pickens. I would go with Jacoby Myers and George Pickens. Now, the problem with DJ Moore is the matchup is great, obviously, right? The Denver defense has proven week in and week out this year that they suck. They're really bad. But the issue is that so is Justin Fields, right? Justin Fields is a disaster. If there ever was a game for DJ Moore to get like 2 touchdowns or go nuclear, it would be this week. But I just don't trust it, to be honest with you. So, Daniel, I would definitely sit DJ Moore. I'm playing Jacoby Myers and George Pickens there. I'm not too worried about the quarterback situation of Aiden O'Connell. Would you drop Mims for Zeke? Yeah, I would, because I don't think you're ever going to actually be able to start Mims. Now, I know that might sound crazy, but I don't think you're really going to ever be like, oh, I think it's time to start Mims, right? Because the thing is, Sean Payton doesn't give him enough snaps. Now, if Sean Payton magically started giving him a lot of snaps, then sure, right? Then maybe you can go ahead and accept that. So there we go. James says, who do you start? Jacoby Myers, Nico Collins, or Pittman? If you need just one, it's pretty easily Michael Pittman. Now, Michael Pittman has been looking pretty good this season. If you guys didn't see on Twitter, I know not everyone's on Twitter. Michael Pittman and Anthony Richardson are wearing shirts of each other. Have you ever seen the movie Step Brothers? I know at least some of you guys have. It's a pretty popular movie. On the shirt, it's fucking it's Michael Pittman and Anthony Richardson. Very funny. I like Anthony Richardson a ton. I like Pittman a ton this week. I think Pittman's going to get fed the rock at a pretty heavy rate, and I think that this offense in Indianapolis is legitimately really, really good, and I believe in them heavily. So I would start Pittman. If you need 2, I would go Nico Collins and Pittman, but definitely Pittman first. TJ, thank you for the super chat. News on Watson. Do you start Cooper or Palmer? Now, to be honest with you, TJ, I'll give you 2 answers really quick. And I'm going to give you my gut feel. I'll give you the safe answer, and then kind of the riskier answer, right? So obviously the safe answer is just to play Josh Palmer, right? You know what Josh Palmer is going to do in this Houston Texans offense. You know how things are going to go for him. So if you want the safest bet, you just go ahead and play Josh Palmer, right? He's getting you 10 plus points guaranteed. You might not end up having a huge day, but you're also probably not going to end up being drastically disappointed. But then there's also the upside of Cooper, right? Even with DTR throwing him the ball, I would play Cooper. Personally, I'm playing Cooper because I'm fine taking the risk, right? I say this in a lot of the streams, I am a very risky fantasy football player. I will take as many risks as possible. in order to potentially get the leg up on my opponent if I think the risk is valuable. Now, obviously, I'm not starting some third string fucking running back because the upside is insane. But in this scenario, I would start Cooper. But if you want to be safe, you want to get the layup, right? You want 10, 15 guaranteed points, go ahead and go Palmer over Cooper. Jay says full PPR, Josh Kelly or A-Chain. Definitely A-Chain, Jay. I'm going to be honest with you. I was so out on Josh Kelly last week, but I still told a couple people to start him because the situation was really good. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not going to lie. The situation was really good for him last week. I thought that was going to be the game where maybe he ends up bouncing back, playing a little bit better. And obviously, if anyone remembers that game, that was not the case. He did not play much better. So I'm going to go with A-Chain. I like the matchup against the Bills. I think this game does have all the potential to be super high scoring. Now, is it guaranteed to be high scoring? I don't think so. Personally, as a Dolphins fan, I don't think this game's a lock to be the highest scoring game on earth. But I would personally start A-Chain over Kelly. I just don't trust Kelly. I think once Eckler comes back, you will actually see Josh Kelly's value increase, even though he's not the starting back. Daniel says, trade Diggs for Mostert and Addison, got Kupp on the IR right now. I would, to be honest with you. Now, maybe this is just a crazy take, but I genuinely do think that the people are talking about Kirk Cousins getting traded, and I know it's definitely in the realm of possibilities, right? I know it's not just a 100% lock that he doesn't end up getting traded, but at the exact same time, when you actually think about things, there's like no way that the Vikings are going to trade Kirk Cousins. So I think Addison has top 24-ish wide receiver upside in any given week. Then you have Mostert, who right now looks like a top 5 running back in fantasy football. I know Jeff Wilson's going to come back, but unless Raheem Mostert gets hurt, there's virtually no chance that Raheem Mostert loses his role in a high-octane offense. I love you long time as well, Kyle. So I would make that trade, but it's kind of one of those where you're not really winning the trade by $1 million and you're not losing, right? It's a very fair trade. I would do the trade, though, especially since you have Kupp on the IR. Jay says, half PPR, pick one running back, one wide receiver, and one flex. Madison, Ford, Sutton, or Terry McLaurin. Let's go, Culture Clips. How you doing, man? Great question. So half PPR, one running back, one wide receiver, and one flex. I am going to go Madison because I like Madison's matchup. I'm going to go Ford because I like Jerome Ford every single week. He's a safe bet weekly with a lot of upside. I know DTR is under center, but that might actually mean that the Browns are running more, right? They're going to run with DTR, obviously, because he's a very strong rushing quarterback. If anyone watched the preseason action, it's very clear that DTR is not like an NFL quarterback that's going to start like 10 games. Like, he's not Lamar Jackson. He's not one of those guys that can play the whole season running like that. But what I will tell you is in one game, he could definitely beat a defense. He can look good for one game. Now, again, if you need 5 games out of him, I think the defense starts to figure it out. But one game today, I think that he will actually play quite well. So I got Ford, I got Madison, and then I'm going Sutton. Sutton just has the better matchup, and I don't really like McLaurin. I like McLaurin, just he's not getting the rock enough. And that Washington offense looks pretty, and they're going up against a tough defense today. So the first 3 guys would be my answer. What's up, Sonics Bro 33? How you doing, my man? Happy FF Sunday to everyone as well. Fuck. I don't want to ban anyone from the channel. That's not what I was trying to do. Sonics Bro says, I have Watson and got dropped someone for an emergency quarterback. Who are you dropping? Elijah Moore, Roshan Johnson, or Gainwell? I would drop Gainwell, personally. I would drop Gainwell and then Pickett or Mayfield. I would go Pickett, but I'm going to be honest, I don't love either of those options. So we just go back and read it off one more time. I would play Pickett over Mayfield, and I would drop Kenneth Gainwell. Daniel, what's up, my man? Thank you for the super chat. Moss, Ford, or Madison Lockett for one running back in a flex, and then also A-Chain or Madison, Russell Wilson, or Daniel Jones. Thank you for the super chat. All right, so Moss, Ford, Madison Lockett, one running back, one flex. That is a tough one, but I got you. So for your one running back, you are going to go with Zach Moss. You cannot sit Zach Moss. You cannot sit him. He has been playing too well to sit, in my opinion. We talk about this a ton on the channel. I genuinely do believe in the philosophy of if you are, or if you, what was I going to say? If you're a player that is on fire, right? You're playing really well. I personally just can't sit you, right? If you're looking that good, this guy's running as a top 12 running back every single week. So there's no way that I would sit him, in my opinion. There's just a 0% chance that I am sitting Zach Moss. And then the question becomes after that, do I want to play Ford, Madison, or Lockett? I think I would personally go with Ford. I like Lockett a ton, but I'm going Ford. So we're going to go Moss and Ford. For your other question, Madison over A-Chain, and then Russell Wilson or Daniel Jones, I would go with Russell Wilson. So Moss, Ford, Madison, Mr. Unlimited Russell Wilson. Sleep deprived animator, thank you for the super chat, my man. Are you working on the Pixar, the fucking Toy Story game right now? Is that why you're sleep deprived? That was a good joke, right, guys? That was a funny joke, right? That was a good one. I know. Everyone's fucking chuckling right now. Half PPR. Thank you for the super chat, though. I appreciate it. Andrews, Flowers, Nico, Dell, or Pacheco. I'm flexing Andrews. I'm going to be honest with you. I know Mark Andrews hasn't been that great, but they don't have Bateman. They don't have Odell. They got to give Andrews the ball. They have to give Andrews the ball. They have to give Andrews the ball. So we are going to go with Mark Andrews. And if you don't want to play Andrews, just go with the other receiver on that team, which is Zay Flowers. Thank you for the super chat. 12 team full PPR. Thank you, Culture Clips. Ferguson or Pat for my tight end. Also for future reference, who do I start at the wide receiver 3? Boyd, London, or Reynolds? I pray to the football gods above that the Atlanta Falcons get rid of Desmond Ridder. It's very clear that Drake London is good. It's very clear that Kyle Pitts is good. If you actually look at the usage of Kyle Pitts is getting the usage of what would be like a top 5-ish tight end in fantasy football. The problem is the quarterback is absolute dog shit. The quarterback, Desmond Ridder, is terrible. So once we get rid of Ridder, it's going to be London. To be honest with you, going forward, though, I'm starting London because he's the number one receiver on the team. Now, Jameson Williams' suspension has been reduced. I believe Jameson Williams is coming back either next week or the week after, which is crazy. So I'm definitely going to be starting London going forward. And then Ferguson or Pat Freiermuth, I would personally go with Ferguson. I like Ferguson's matchup. Would I start Ferguson over Freiermuth is the question. I think so. I think he's going to do good against the Patriots. Ferguson has been getting fed the rock. Ferguson has looked good. I know Dak has looked bad, but that offense has to get back on the saddle, bounce back. So I'm going to go with Ferguson, and then going forward, I'm starting London, even though it's going to feel gross, man. Jay, thank you. Half PPR. I have Barkley, Demont, Madison, Ford at running back, Adams, Sutton, McLaurin, Jameson at receiver. How do you think Jonathan Taylor does rest of season? Hold or trade for wide receiver pieces? So Jonathan Taylor is essentially a piece that, in my opinion, is virtually untradeable. Why is he untradeable? Because whatever value you are going to get for Jonathan Taylor right now is still very low. Now, I know we are hearing about how Jonathan Taylor is going to come back and he's this, that, and the other thing. That's great, right? I think he's going to do great on the Colts, assuming that he actually plays there. But what I will tell you is that I am a little bit nervous about trying to trade him right now because I don't think anyone's going to give you fair value for Jonathan Taylor, because while Jonathan Taylor has been cleared to quote unquote come back, it's still not a guarantee that he actually wants to fucking play for the team that he's on. That is far from a guarantee. So I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think very many people are going to want to pay the actual price that you would want if you are trading Jonathan Taylor. So right now I'm holding Jonathan Taylor. Once Jonathan Taylor steps foot on the field and looks good, then you're good to trade him for wide receiver pieces, right? Because your wide receiver pieces are a little bit suspect, right? You've got Adams, Sutton, McLaurin, Jameson. If you were to make a trade right now for receiver pieces, I would get it, but I'm holding him right now because the second he gets on the field, like I've been saying, Jonathan Taylor's trade value increases 2x, right? Because once people now have a clear path towards Jonathan Taylor actually getting touches, then his value increases. So if you want to make the trade, go ahead. But all I'm telling you right now is that his value will be 90 times higher next week if they say he's going to suit up. It will be 100% higher. The truth, quarterback Fields or O'Connell, definitely, I actually like O'Connell. I think he's a pretty decent quarterback, but there is no way in hell I am playing Aiden O'Connell over Justin Fields. There's just no way. I'm going to play Justin Fields. I'm going to take my licks if he ends up sucking ass. So I'm playing Fields for sure. And then Logan Thomas, Everett, or Donald Parham. I think Donald Parham's a little bit of fool's gold, right? Maybe Gerald Everett ends up being the fool's gold, right? And we start Gerald Everett and Parham goes crazy, but I'm going Gerald Everett. I like Gerald Everett's matchup this week up against the Raiders. The Raiders defense is pretty piss poor, and I like this Chargers offense a ton. So I'm going to go Gerald Everett, and I'm going Justin Fields. Again, Fields might shit the bed. I hope that if that report is true about the Bears wanting to trade Justin Fields, that Justin Fields gets traded to the Atlanta Falcons tomorrow, because I actually think in the Atlanta Falcons offense, Justin Fields would be amazing. I really do believe that. So I'm going Justin Fields and I'm going Gerald Everett. I like Logan Thomas, but I'm going Gerald Everett. Kevin, thank you for the super chat, my man. Looking spiffy in that suit. Sanders is active. Play him or Dameon Pierce. Definitely playing Sanders. Laramie Tunsil, the main offensive lineman, the best offensive lineman on the Texans. One of the better offensive linemen in the NFL. The guy that used to be on the Dolphins, gas mask, man. I love him. He is the reason why we have Tyreek Hill and all these other pieces. So the Dolphins need to fucking put a statue up once to hoist the Lombardi of Tunsil. I love Tunsil. That's a huge hit for the Texans. That is a huge hit. Now, CJ Stroud could look fine. He's going to get rocked. He's going to get put on his ass. But at the end of the day, when push comes to shove, he will be fine, right? But Dameon Pierce won't be fine. Dameon Pierce is going to get hit behind the offensive line repeatedly. I would 100% play Miles Sanders. 100%. C. Dog says Dell or Cooper. Again, I strongly believe that we can't get too cute in fantasy football. Does it hurt that DTR is under center and not Deshaun Watson? Yes. It hurts like a butt cheek on a stick. But if you play Dell over Cooper, I think you're getting too cute. I really do. Now, this is what led me to make the decision of playing Aaron Jones over David Montgomery on Thursday. I was not trying to get cute. I played Aaron Jones, and I got smacked in the fucking mouth for it. But we know Cooper's 100% healthy. It's just the quarterback's a little bit suspect. I go Cooper, though. Dell's safer, certainly, but I go Cooper. Tony, thank you for the super chat. Start Tutu or Flowers. I'm going Flowers because of all the injuries to the Ravens. I mean, like, without Odell, without Bateman, you just have to think Flowers is going to get fed the rock. The Browns' defense is good. For sure. Browns defense, very good. But I'm going Flowers. If you want the safe points, though, you can go 2-2, but I'd go Flowers. Jay, Addison or Palmer. I like both of them this week. I like both of them a ton. So the Jaguars absolutely butt-fucked the Falcons. I don't know how many of you guys are watching. I assume most of you guys are watching. I'm not watching right now. I'll go back and watch the game afterwards because I'll just watch. I DVR the game so I can just watch them later. Watch tomorrow in the morning, the rest of that game. But I assume there wasn't too much that happened. But yeah, that's embarrassing for the fucking Falcons. But we all know that the Jaguars are always the home team in London. I would go Addison. I like Addison a lot up against that Carolina defense. I know that Palmer's a decent start as well, but I lean Addison personally. Bijan looked good, though. Bijan did look good. I mean, that cut when he was dressed as a when he was animated looked crazy. Bro, he looked like fucking Michael Vick in like the NFL Street Games. I YOLO'd on Montgomery. I played Montgomery last week as well. in a bunch, or this week, in a bunch of leagues, but I just started Aaron Jones ahead of him. Again, I try not to get too cute. Hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Thank you, Captain Spock. Thank you for answering a bunch of questions in chat. I don't know if I acknowledged you already, like you're the tribal chief, but I will say that now. Thank you. Shout out to Spock. He's always in the chat. Spock is a very nice guy. Spock's been here since the very beginning, so I really love Captain Spock. He's a really nice guy. Need one flex. B-Rob, Judy, Tutu, and Garrett Wilson. I would go Tutu. Without Spock, the whole ship sinks. Like Conor McGregor, you know? Oh, did anyone watch that fucking Canelo fight last night? The fight before that was the most rigged thing I've ever seen in my life. I've never seen a man lose a fight so obviously, and the judges give it to the guy that clearly lost. And then I bet on Charlo to beat Canelo. I like the odds. I've seen a couple Charlo fights before. I thought that with the reach advantage, he'd be strong. He was just coming up the weight classes. He just didn't have it. Canelo had all gas, no breaks. That was one of the more impressive Canelo fights I've seen. So yeah, that was, if anyone watched that, I don't know how big into boxing you guys are. I'm definitely more of a UFC guy than boxing fan, but I always watch when Canelo fights. I've seen his last like 8 fights. Thought it was still pretty fun, even though I lost my bet. Should I pick up Roshan Johnson and start him over Pierce, Zay Flowers, or Myers at the flex? Great question. Oh, man, that is a really good question. That is a very good question. Fuck. It's a good question because it's tough. So Roshan is basically like a firecracker, right? The Bears could get dominated 50 Shades of Grey style today. The Bears could get their shit pushed in, and then we don't really see much out of Roshan Johnson. Or Roshan Johnson could see a lot of carries. They look good against the Broncos, and you're happy. Let's see here. 1 second. So what I was going to say is Roshan basically needs more carries to be super successful, but he's all right. I mean, let me just give you the answer. I'm playing Dameon Pierce behind the bad Houston Texans O-line because I think he'll be okay. But Roshan Johnson is the higher upside answer. And then Zay Flowers or Jacoby Myers, I would stick with Zay Flowers due to all the injuries to the other receivers on that team. But that's a really tough question between Roshan and Pierce. Because I don't really think Pierce is going to score like 25 points, but I think Pierce will probably get you 10. Whereas I think Roshan's either getting you 2 or he's getting you 35. So personally, I would play Pierce, but if you want to go Johnson, that's fine. I'm definitely going Zay Flowers over Jacoby. PPR, Fields or Geno? I go Geno. Pick one. Moore, Nico, Miles Sanders. I go Miles Sanders. Ford or Flowers? Ford. Cooper, Olave, Flowers, Pickens, Tank, Dell. Start 2, flex 1. Cooper, Olave, and Flowers for that one. Yo, longtime fan. What's up, Evan? I'm torn between Warren or Murray. I would play Warren. I think you're getting cute if you're playing Latavius. Do I start Lockett, Nico, or Gabe Davis, and Khalil Herbert or Charbonnet? I would play Lockett. And then Khalil or Charbonnet, I'd play Khalil. Bill, this science guy. Thank you for the super chat. James Conner, Miles Sanders, Gabe, or Palmer. Pick one. Pick one. I'm going with Miles Sanders. I know Bryce Young hasn't looked good, but that Minnesota Vikings defense is as good as dead. That Minnesota Vikings defense is absolute dog shit. Terrible. So I am 100% going with Miles Sanders. 100%. That defense is so bad in Minnesota. I get that the offense in Carolina is amazing, but Miles Sanders is 100% must start. 100% Miles Sanders. Thank you for the super chat, Bill. Giorgio, the chef, thank you for the super chat. Pick 2, Olave, Flowers, Pittman. Great question. Olave is an insta-lock. I am pretty shocked that Derek Carr is playing today. I don't know about you guys, but I did not think Derek Carr would be good enough to suit up today. I thought Derek Carr dealing with that injury Like, why risk it? I get that the Saints don't have the best record, but like, why risk it? Like, just play fucking Jameis for one game against the Bucks. Like, Jameis can get the win. It almost would be better for Olave if Jameis was under center. But yeah, I would definitely go Olave. And that's between Flowers and Pittman. Pittman's got a good matchup against the Rams. I'm going Pittman with Anthony Richardson. So we're going to go Pittman and Olave. That is your answer to that question. Thank you for the super chat. Pittman and Olave. Roshan Johnson or Rashad White, Breece Hall or Chris Godwin. I would go Chris Godwin. Tua or Anthony Richardson. I'd go Anthony Richardson since you need more upside. Breece Hall or Chris Godwin. Start 2, D-Hop, Cortland Sutton, Tyler Lockett in PPR. I would go with Lockett and Sutton. Roshan Johnson or Rashad White. I'd go Rashad White. Football as well, Nick. Can't decide between Roshan Johnson and Breece Hall. I would go Roshan Johnson. Chuckleberry. Last flex, Elijah Moore or Elijah Moore. Dude, am I dumb for not knowing who Denniston Oliver Moore is? Man. Did you watch the London game? I watched a decent amount of it, and then I got on here. I'm going to watch it back tomorrow at the end of the game, and I'll just be able to not watch with the commercials and shit so I can actually enjoy the game and not want to blow my brains out. I live my life on overdrive. All right. Let's see here. Hi, I'm Paul with the super chat. Paul, thank you for the super chat. Paul M says 2-2 Connor Ford or Hall at the flex, full PPR. Definitely going Ford. 100% going Ford. I like Ford a lot this week. I love Ford this week. I love him. I love it, and I love it. I think Ford is going to have a real solid showing. I think Ford is going to look really good, if I'm being blatantly honest with you. I love Ford this week. I love it. So we're going Ford 100%. I mean, he just gets so many carries. He's like a locked and loaded in 15-ish points. And that Browns offense, even with DTR, is going to look good. I agree. That Browns defense ain't nothing to fuck with. Also, had no idea they were playing Carr. Wow. Yeah, I didn't think they were going to play Carr. We kind of talked about it all week. It seemed like Carr was going to be out. It seemed like Jameis was going to be in. Now, again, I get when teams do things like that, right? They play I get it. I'm not here to tell you that what the fuck the Saints should do, right? I'm obviously not in that position, but I definitely thought it was basically close to a lock that we were going to get a Jameis Winston revenge game, and then Carr practices in full on Friday, and then they roll with Carr again. Maybe the head coach, Allen, just thinks that if they start Jameis, it's just going to be a disaster-filled game. And yeah, the Browns defense is pretty good, but I don't mind the matchup for the Ravens this week, right? It's the Ravens versus the Browns. I'm not fucking talking on my ass, right? It's okay. I think the Ravens offense will be fine, but yeah, the Browns defense is legitimately one of the best defenses in the NFL. Bill, pick one running back and one flex. Thank you for the super chat. A-Chain, Barkley, Connor Ford, Thielen, Hopkins, and Gabe. So I don't think Barkley is going to play. I think earlier on in the week, it did seem like there was at least like a 10% chance that he played. And then as we got closer and closer to actual game time, it was close to a lock that he wasn't going to play. So I would say your best bet is probably to just avoid Barkley at all costs today. Don't try to play him, get cute, and then him be absent tomorrow during their game. So I would go with one running back and one flex. I'm going Jerome Ford, and then I'm playing Adam Thielen at the flex. I think Adam Thielen is a really good start this week. I like Adam Thielen a ton in this spot. I'm going to Adam Thielen. So we're going Adam Thielen and Barkley. Ruben, thank you for the super chat. Says Brian Robinson or Najee at RB2 today. I would definitely go Brian Robinson. I don't mind Najee's matchup. I just don't trust Najee Harris even in the slightest. I don't think anyone does. If we're being honest with you, I don't think anyone in their right mind actually trusts what is happening there in Pittsburgh. And I just think Brian Robinson is significantly safer. He's been running quite well. I get he had a down game last week, but it feels like he's in for a stronger bounce back this week. So we're going to go with Brian Robinson. Aiden Ryder, Eurico Ryder, says Hall or Breida, and then Terry or Tutu, quarterback to Dimes or Purdy. I'd go Tutu. I'd go Purdy. Ooh, Hall or Breida is close. Hall or Breida is close. Both of those guys, you're basically praying to the football gods above that they get a touchdown. You're not winning your week if or you're not getting a good start if one of them don't score, right? Either way, you're praying for a touchdown. You're probably getting 10 carries, 40 yards, maybe a catch or two. You need the touchdown. I'm being honest with you. I think Breida might be more likely to score, and that might sound a little bit crazy, but I think I would go Breece Hall and just hope that the fact that Rodgers is going to be at the game, that Rodgers is able to speak to Zach Wilson, that Zach Wilson will for some reason wake up, and if not, maybe they just tug him out, fucking Deshaun Watson style, and then you see Trevor Seaman enter the game. So I'd go Hall. Definitely going 2-2 and definitely going with big cock Brock Purdy. Kyle, thank you for the super chat. 100th like. Thank you, baseball boy. I really appreciate you. You the GOAT. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Kelly, Breida, Ford, Gabe Davis, Michael Thomas. Pick one running back, one receiver, one flex, full PPR, sucky, $5. Thank you, Kyle. I really appreciate you. Let's go Ford. Lock Ford in at running back. We're just locking Ford in. If anyone has a question about Ford, unless you got like fucking Christian McCaffrey, like who would be running backs that are just like locks to start over Ford, right? Like if you had like McCaffrey and fuck, why can I not think of running that? I like on the spot sometimes my brain just doesn't work, right? It's like there's so many good running backs in the NFL that I can list off the top of my head. For instance, if you had McCaffrey, you have Ford, and then your other running back is Tony Pollard. Obviously, Ford rides the pine in that scenario. But in this scenario, you are going Ford, lock him in. Your receiver is going to be Gabe Davis, and your flex is going to be Michael Thomas. I don't trust Josh Kelly worth anything, and I don't really trust Matt Breida either. So Ford, Gabe Davis, and Michelle Thomas. Jacob T, thank you for the super chat. Ford or A-Chain, I chose them over London. Well, don't feel bad about that. I doubt, how many points does Drake London have? ESPN stats. ESPN. Fuck ESPN Jaguars versus the. Flip the stat sheet real quick because again, I'm not watching the game. You got a friend in me. Down now. You got a friend in me. Fucking song stuck in my head from watching the Toy Story broadcast. Drizzy Drake London, 3 catches, 28 yards, and a touchdown. So you didn't really miss out on much if you sat him. I'd go Ford. Again, I love A-Chain. I believe heavily in my boy Devin 2 Chains, but I'm definitely going to sit down Devin A-Chain in favor of Ford. I just like Ford way too much to sit him. I will not be sitting Ford. All right, I want to get some Anthony Richardson lineups up in here. So we're going Ford over A-Chain, Jacob. Tyler says Tank Dell or Chris Godwin or need a risky play. So you need a risky play. I think Godwin is the safest play. So you're looking for risk. You're going Tank Dell. Tank Dell might score you 4 points, but Tank Dell might go 12 inches deep into the metaphorical butthole of the Pittsburgh Steelers defense. So we are going with Tank Dell. You want the risky play? You want the upside play? You're going Tank Dell. Caleb says, Thielen or Devontae Smith? Do not overthink Devontae Smith. I get that we have seen some solid work out of Fuck, why is my brain failing me? Out of Thielen. Thielen's looked really good. Don't get cute. You are getting way too cute if you are sitting Devontae Smith. I get Devontae Smith as boomer bust, but man, oh man, I am not sitting Devontae Smith for Adam Thielen. And I love Adam Thielen this week. I am as high as Elon Musk on Devontae Smith, but I'm not sitting him for Thielen. Next question here. Christian Woodard, thank you again for the super chat. I really appreciate you coming by every single week. It means the world to me. So thank you guys. Thank you, Christian, as well. Started flex, A-Chain, Lockett, or Judy. This is a closer one. I don't like Jerry Judy this week, not because I don't like the matchup. The matchup's amazing. I don't trust Jerry Judy. I don't know about you guys, but Jerry Judy hasn't looked that great to me. Now, I know, benefit of the doubt, this offense has looked bad. So I'm not here saying that Jerry Judy's a bust at the NFL level, but Jerry Judy hasn't really put it together at the NFL level for longer than like a 3 stretch of games, right? Last year, towards the end of the season, yeah, he put it together, right? But he hasn't done it on a big scale. And that scares me when it comes to Judy. So it's between Lockett or A-Chain. I'm going Lockett. I love the matchup against the Giants. I'm going Lockett. Tyler, Lockett in my pocket. Skirt is the answer for me. We're going Tyler Lockett. Tyler Lockett 100% over Judy and A-Chain. Cornell, thank you for the super chat. Cousins or Richardson? I would go Kirk Thuggins. I like Kirk Cousins a lot because of his matchup. I think Kirk Cousins is going to have a very solid game. And I think Kirk Cousins continues to look good week in and week out. Very safe play, high upside. Definitely would lean with him. So after that, we are going to go with Cousins, even though I like Richardson. And then Pittman, Nakua, or Addison. I'm going Nakua bounce back game. So Cousins and Puka Nakua. I'm going to get to the normal questions as well, by the way. I'm only answering the super chats because people are paying for them, so I have to answer them first, and then I get to the normal questions. So just so you know, if you're not super chatting, you don't have to. I will try to answer as many questions as possible before the stream ends, just so you guys know. So, Brett, thank you. $5, thank you very much. Non-PPR, RB2, wide receiver 2, and flex. Herbert, Hall, Burrito, Waddle, Lockett, Nakua. Can't sit Waddle. Can't sit Puka. Can't sit either of those guys. I get Waddle hasn't had a great season. I get it. When Waddle's been playing, he hasn't been great. I'm a Dolphins fan. I can acknowledge that. I still think Waddle does have top 5 upside every single week. As a Dolphins fan, I will tell you that Jalen Waddle normally perks up a little bit up against the Bills. So my pick here would be to go with, definitely got to go with Waddle. Definitely got to go with Puka. And then for the RB2, I am going to go with Breece Hall. So I'm going Breece Hall, Lockett, and Puka. Breece Hall, Lockett, and Puka Nakua. That's my answer right there. 100%. 100%. Lockett, Waddle, Puka Nakua. Bill, 2 running backs, 1 flex. Mostert, Stevenson, Jacobs, A-Chain, Kamara, and Lockett. Thanks for everything. No problem, Bill. Damn, that's a tough one. Gotta lock in Mostert. You can't sit Mostert. There's no way I am sitting Mostert. I'm just going to be honest with you. There is like a 0% chance that I'm sitting Raheem Mostert. So I'm playing him. One second. So you have to play Mostert. And then you got to play Jacobs because of the matchup. So you're playing Mostert, you're playing Jacobs. Then I am playing Kamara. Mostert, Jacobs, Kamara. I like Stevenson. Do I think Stevenson's going to shit the bed like a lot of people do? No. But man, oh man. Man, oh man. Do I like... I don't want to play Smythe either. 1 second here. Yeah, so I like Stevenson, but I don't trust him now with Zeke over these guys. So Mostert, great matchup for Jacobs, great matchup for Mostert, and then Kamara in his bounce back game. So Kamara, Mostert, Jacobs. Thank you for the super chat. Killa says, thank you for the super chat. Judy, Thomas, Flowers, Wilson, non-PPR. Non-PPR, I'm going Flowers. And then since it's not PPR and Thomas is a PPR machine, we're going Judy. First answer with Judy. I like the upside of Judy. Again, I don't trust him, but I do like the upside, especially in a standard league. So we are going to go Judy and Flowers. Luke says, what's up, Notorious? What's up, my man? I'm worried about playing Debo, playing decoy today. Half PPR, play Debo, Dell, Thielen, or Kamara at the flex. I don't think he's going to be out there as a decoy. He came back in last week's game and played well after getting banged up. So I don't think so. I think Debo is going to play at full strength. I'm playing Debo. But if you're worried about that, you want to play someone else, play Kamara. But I'm personally playing Debo. I'm not too worried about that. I get why you're worried, right? But I personally myself am not super worried about that. So I would go in that scenario. I'm going with Debo. Brett, thank you for the super chat. Non-PPR wide receiver 2 and a flex. Nakua, Moore, Atwell, Dell, Sanders, A-Chain, Pacheco. Great question. Definitely got to play Puka. Even in non-PPR, you're playing Puka. And then I am playing Sanders. I like Sanders' matchup against the Vikings, and I think Sanders is going to have a pretty reliable game. He's been getting some more carries as well. So I'm going with Puka, and I'm going with Sanders. Thank you for the super chat. And that was it on the super chats. I think Lockett, Palmer will have a big day. Do you like Ford over these? I would play Ford over Palmer 100%. Also have Flowers. Gun to the head. Yeah, I'm going Ford over Palmer. I'm not sitting Mostert for Mixon. I'm not doing that personally. Start 2 PPR league. Javonte Williams, Judy, Stevenson. I would go with... I'm starting Stevenson and Javonte. Judy or DJ Moore, I would go Judy. Thank you for... I appreciate the content. Thank you. Appreciate you as well. Dude, you really aren't going to play Debo? You guys are getting cute, man. I think you guys are overthinking things. Now, maybe I'm overthinking things, right? Now, maybe I'm calling you out, right? And I'm the asshole left with my pants in between my legs, metaphorically, after this one. But I don't know, man. I really think that we're going to end up seeing a big game out of Debo. We're going to go. I'm definitely. All right. Next question here. Thank you for the super chat. Sand 3DS. PPR, Garrett Wilson, Zay Flowers, or Pickens. That's a tough one. I love Garrett Wilson, the player, but dude, I can't start Garrett Wilson with Zach Wilson. I just can't do it. I can't start him with Zach Wilson. I can't do it. It feels so fucking disgusting to throw him into your lineup. It feels beyond gross to play Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson's amazing. Garrett Wilson has the skill set of potentially a top 10 receiver in the National Football League. I'm not even kidding. I think he's good enough to be a top 10 receiver in the NFL. His problem is that Zach Wilson is a certified bum, so you can't play him. Pickens has not a tough matchup, but a little bit tougher matchup than people like to give credit for. Personally, I am going to go with I'm going Zay Flowers. I just like the matchup for Flowers. I like that Flowers is the clear number 1 receiver. I like that the Ravens don't have Bateman or Odell. So I would go with Flowers personally. Sanders has a groin injury. I know, but he's playing. Kunak says, start Madison or Kamara as the RB2. Definitely go Madison. Definitely go Kamara. Madison, they're looking to go with the hot hand today. I still think Madison is the hot hand. If we're being blatantly honest with you, I still think Madison is going to be seeing a lot of the touches. But what I will also tell you is it's not a guarantee that Madison actually stays as the lead back, right? I don't think that's a guarantee. So we're gonna go with the safer bet in Kamara. Kamara is, they're saying pocket. They're saying Kamara is in for a full workload. So that's what we're gonna lean with. We're going Kamara. No says sent the super chat. Let me just search his name up. Let me load all the questions. Or the chat again so I can find your question. Oh, my computer just fucking froze. So that's great. RXCH6. Full PPR, Lockett or Debo? Okay. I'm playing Debo. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm playing Debo over Lockett. If you're scared, look, I get it. If you're scared of Debo going out there and not playing much, this, that, and the other thing, then go ahead and fade away from him, right? Go ahead and play the other option, right? Go ahead and play Lockett. But I'm playing Debo. You drafted Debo that highly for a reason. Debo. Is anyone saying that this is going to be, is expected to play? Like, no one's saying that this is going to be. Debo Samuel's expected to play. Debo is good to go. He suffered a rib injury late in week 3 versus the Giants, but played through the issue. He was held out of practice on Wednesday and Thursday before giving a limited section this week. Dude, he's playing against the fucking Cardinals. Even if he has limited in snaps, he's still going to have a good game. So I'm not overthinking things. I'm going Debo. Oh, thank you, Kunak. I appreciate that. Yeah, if you guys are Patreon subscribers, if you need a answer to any of your questions, just DM me on Patreon. I answer every single question. I answer every single question on there that is DM to me. We currently have 64. I answer every question on there. So we have 60 plus Patreon subscribers. Now you sold me. I'm sticking with Debo. You're awesome, man. Thank you for all you do. Thank you. Yeah, that's basically just how I feel when it comes to Debo. Even if he's limited, right? Even if you believe he's limited, you can score a touchdown while limited against the Arizona Cardinals. This is not the Cowboys, right? I understand that people are like the Cowboys just shit the bed against the Cardinals. Like, the Cardinals are more legit than every single person, including myself, gave them credit for. They are much more legitimate than I thought. They're much more legitimate than I'm sure you thought, unless you were a Cardinals fan. Again, I know how that feels. I've been a Dolphins fan my whole life. I talk myself into the Dolphins being good all the time. But, man, oh man, I think this 49ers team's legit. Garrett Peters with the super chat. Need help, flex, Sanders, A-Chain, Nico, or Evans. I think Evans is must start most weeks, but not against Lattimore. Lattimore typically locks up Mike Evans. I'm locked up, don't let me out. So I would personally go with Sanders, A-Chain, Nico, or Evans. I'm going Sanders. Here, let me just take a picture of something real quick. I'm going Sanders for sure, even though I get that he's limited with the groin injury, but I'm playing Sanders. 100%. I'm playing Sanders. I would be hard-pressed to sit Miles Sanders. So you definitely are going Miles Sanders in that question. I like A-Chain. I like Nico. I like Evans. I like all those guys, but I'm going Sanders for sure. 100% for me. Miles Sanders. Rock out with your cock out. Thank you for the super chat. 2 flex. Wait, I just want to make sure I answer that question correctly. Yeah, it was just one guy. So yeah, it's just Sanders for you, Garrett. Rock out with your cock out. McLaurin, Javonte, or Ayuk. Definitely go Ayuk and Javonte. I don't like. I'm going to be honest. I don't really like McLaurin this week. I don't think McLaurin. I am like anyone who's been here for years at this point, right, knows that I am a Terry McLaurin guy. I will die at bat for Terry McLaurin, saying that Terry McLaurin is good. And I still believe that. But in this offense that wants to run the rock, in this offense with a all right quarterback in Sam Howell, there's just not enough ball pause. There's not enough balls going the way of McLaurin. McLaurin looks like he's kind of lost a step from last year, in my opinion, and just hasn't performed that well. Sure. Is he safe weekly? Yeah. Like, are you ever mad you started him? No. You're like, all right, I started him. He had an all right game. It is what it is, right? You're not going to be super happy that you started him. You're not going to be fucking crying yourself to sleep that you benched him. But I'm going Javonte and Ayuk easily there. Ray Rodriguez, thank you for the super chat. I greatly appreciate that. Pierce or Kelly? This is one of those rare lose-lose scenarios because you're going to start, guaranteed you're going to start the wrong one. I can almost guarantee it, or both of them just get 3 points. Look, we saw it last week. We saw it the last week before that. Even in easy matchups, Joshua Kelly doesn't have the juice. I know a lot of people coming out of college really like Joshua Kelly. And again, I'm not here to throw stones on people's assessment of players out of college. I have thought players were going to be great out of college, and the player ends up being a complete and utter bag of dicks. So I'm not here to throw stones at that. But Kelly does not look good as the lead back. When Eckler's out there softening the defense up, yeah, could Kelly have a great game? 100%. I'm going with Pierce, even in a tougher matchup. Kelly's got an easy matchup, but he just hasn't done it. He cannot do it. He has failed so many weeks in a row to the point of it being like, how many times in a row are we going to get absolutely fucking catapulted by this guy before we say enough is enough, right? How many weeks in a row are we going to get sauced up by Kelly before we're like, you know what? Let's not play Kelly. Right? And I feel like that time, the time is up. The time is now. You can't see me, John Cena style. I'm not playing Kelly. I'm going Pierce. Davis, thank you for the super chat. Love that picture, your profile picture. Alvin Kamara, Javonte Williams. Love the Javonte Williams matchup. I adore the Javonte Williams matchup. There is no way I'm sitting Alvin Kamara this week. There's just no way. That Saints defense just got absolutely torched by, not the Saints defense. That Bucks defense just got absolutely torched by DeAndre Swift and that Eagles offense. I think Alvin Kamara is going to go crazy. Sure, Javonte could also go crazy. I'm playing, call a spade a spade. I'm playing Javonte in a lot of these DFS lineups. I'm putting it right now. Javonte is in a lot of my DFS lineups. Just so you guys know, if you ever hear me typing, I'm putting in my DFS lineups during the stream. I don't put them in super early because my opinion on things change. The projections change as the day goes on. But I am not sitting Kamara. I'm just not sitting him. You drafted him for a reason. I was not a believer in Alvin Kamara because I thought that the rest of the offense would actually look good. I thought these other running backs would look good. But no, that is not the case. We are going with Alvin Kamara. Gary, thank you for the super chat, my man. Let me pull up my other handy dandy chat here to answer your question. Gary Fields. Gary says, Addison, Joshua Kelly, Tank Dell, Adam Thielen, need one. That's a tough one because I like Addison and Thielen a ton this week. I'm going Thielen. I love the matchup for Adam Thielen. I love the revenge game aspect for Adam Thielen. And I just think Adam Thielen is good. Right? I'm just going to be honest. I think Adam Thielen is good. So we are going to go with Adam Thielen. Pretty simple. I think Adam Thielen is going to have a pretty solid showing out there. So we're going Adam Thielen. Daniel, thank you for the super chat, my man. I greatly appreciate you. Full PPR, Khalil Herbert, Josh Kelly, Rashad White, Gabe Davis, DJ Chark for my flex spot. Great question. Great question. I don't love Rashad White against the Saints. I don't trust Josh Kelly. I don't love DJ Chark, so we're going Gabe Davis. Gabe Davis has a lot of upside up against the Dolphins defense. As a Dolphins fan, I am praying that Gabe Davis gets locked behind bars in this game and does fucking nothing, right? I'm hoping he does terrible. I'm hoping he shits the bed. I am hoping he has the worst game of his life. But that's as a Dolphins fan. I fully understand that the upside there is possible for a 20-point game, right? A 30-point game, even if he gets loose twice. He's going to be going up against Kader Kohu, not X. X is the better corner. X normally gets a pick on Allen every game, but again, X is going to be on Diggs. So I think that realistically, we should project a pretty decent game out of Gabe Davis. I don't think this is going to be Gabe Davis's best game of the season, but I think he's going to be good enough to be start worthy. So we're going to go Gabe Davis over all of those guys. He is just the safest bet And he also has the highest upside out of all those guys. So that kind of makes him a no-brainer, right? Safest play with the highest upside. Oh my gosh, we have so many super chats. Thank you guys. I really fucking appreciate you guys so much. I love you guys. Burrow or Purdy? Purdy, Goddard, Shaheed. See, I would play Burrow, but Purdy is like 90 times safer. So I'd go Purdy, Goddard, Shaheed, or Chark at the flex. I would go with Goddard. Thank you for the super chat. Purdy and Goddard. Cooler Hand says Gabe Davis or Ramondre. That was gross. I don't know if anyone just heard that. My stomach just made a weird noise. I'm fucking starving right now. Gabe Davis or Ramondre. I'm going Gabe Davis. With Zeke getting put on the pine like that, I'm going Gabe Davis. We're going Gabe Davis. Tank Dell or Rashad White. I'm going Rashad White a million times over Tank Dell. I'm going Tank Dell a million times over Rashad White is what I meant to say. I absolutely love Rashad White. I mean, absolutely love Tank Dell over Rashad White is what I meant to say. Sorry. So Tank Dell over Rashad White, 100%. Sorry about that. My brain turned off for half a second. DK Mitchell, thank you for the super chat. DK Mitchell's question is PPR, Kyren, Zach Moss, or Mostert? I would go, fuck, dude. You have 3 running backs that, in my opinion, are must starts. So you're you should be feeling mighty fine right now. You should be feeling real good. I'm going Mostert, though. I'm going Mostert. The Bills' defense is trash against the run. They're terrible against the run. Mostert could have one of those big days again. I'm going Mostert. I'm going with Raheem the Dream Mostert. And if you need 2, I'm going Raheem Mostert and Zach Moss, but I don't think that was your question. Tim says Jerome Ford or Tutu. Again, we can't be sitting Jerome Ford, even if I love Tutu Atwell, even if I'm a Tutu Atwell truther. I'm going with Jerome Ford. Deebo Samuel will play. Eckler out. So we are going with Deebo Samuel, 100%. 100%. We are going with Jerome Ford over Tutu Atwell. Easy. Felito with a picture of Luigi says, full PPR, Brian Robinson or Matt Breida? Definitely Brian Robinson. I think Matt Breida is going to be decent, but Matt Breida, you need a touchdown. Brian Robinson could be successful without a touchdown, right? Breida's probably going to get 10 carries, 30 yards, and if he scores, you're going to be happy. If he doesn't score, you're going to be mad. Brian Robinson's probably going to get 10 carries for like 60 yards, get a couple of balls thrown his way. If he scores, you're going to be very happy. If he doesn't score, you're going to be like, all right, obviously that wasn't the best game ever, but he also didn't completely butt fuck me. Whereas if Breida doesn't score, you are slaughtered in that game. So we are going 100% Brian Robinson. Debo or DJ Moore, big sauce. Definitely go Debo. Don't overthink things with Debo. Play Debo 100%. Do not overthink things with Deebo Samuel, please. Don't get too cute there. Eagles, Eagles. All right, so go Debo over DJ Moore. Denver Broncos versus the Patriots. I would go with the. Oh man, I think I'd go with the Patriots defense, and then I'd go with Ferguson. Start 2 running backs. Ford, Mostert, Sanders, A-Chain, Madison. I would go Mostert and Ford. Mixon or Zay Flowers. Mixon. Connor or Javante. Olave or Kyren. Olave. Denver Broncos versus the. I already answered that one. I need 2 running backs and a flex. I would go A-Chain and Ramondre. Connor was the Javante was the answer. Which tight end should I start this week? What's up, Tyler, my man? Kincaid, Hurst, or Logan Thomas? I would go Kincaid. Tyron, do you switch your fucking picture every single time we're in here? I feel like I've seen you in like 4 different looks, Tyron, last couple of weeks. Which again, nothing wrong with that. Just asking. Alrighty. 1 second. Let me just fire off a text. And then get back to answering questions. Dell or Mixon in PPR? I'd go Mixon, Roshan, or Sky or Justice Hill. Roshan, Lockett, or Flowers. Lockett. Pick PPR wide receiver 2 and flex. Debo, D-Hop, Evans, Najee. I'd go Debo and Evans. Cornell says Dell, Addison, Atwell, or Kyren Williams. Great question. I'm going Kyren Williams personally. I'm going Kyren Williams. 100% Kyren Williams. I love Kyren Williams this week. Absolutely adore Kyren Williams. I know he didn't score last week. I think he gets back on the saddle and crawls into the end zone this week. So Kyren Williams would be my answer. 100%. 100%. And it ain't even close. Kyren Williams. Next question here. Need a wide receiver 2, Myers, Terry, or Cooper? Cooper, Mac, Dak, or Aiden? Dak, Michael Pittman or Dell? Pittman, Ramondre or Madison? Ramondre, Dell or Mixon? Mixon, Rashad White or Garrett Wilson? I'd go Garrett Wilson. Hollywood, D-Hop, or Tank Dell? I would go Dell. 1 second here. Okay. Mike Thomas, Chris Godwin, Tank Dell, or Scary Terry? I would go Tank Dell. Dell or Pittman? I would go Pittman. Yeah, I used to post on YouTube in high school, and I had to put an updated picture. That's funny. I like that. I started making YouTube videos, like these kind of videos, when I was in college. I made videos before this as well, but those YouTube channels are deleted off the internet. Deleted. Because the boy doesn't want to get canceled for how I used to talk when I was like 12, you know? And I obviously didn't say something insane, if anyone thinks that. But, you know, you don't want people to look back at something you said when you were like 13 as a joke and people get all pissed off. Let's see. Mike Evans or Mixon? I'd go Mixon. 2, Flowers, A-Chain, Dell. I'd go Dell, and I'd go A-Chain. Jake Ferguson or George Kittle? I'd go Kittle. Can't say Kittle. Yo, what's good, man? Do you start a running back 2 between Javonte, A-Chain, Brian Robinson? Would you consider flexing any of them over Josh Palmer? I would start at RB2 Javonte, and I would not start any of them over Josh Palmer. I'm trying to get my bets in really quick for these games as well. It's weird that the Vikings today are playing at 1 o'clock, not at 4. Isn't that a little weird? I feel like they're always playing at a later time. All right, and then we got to do the props. So yeah, I would go with A-Chain. No, I'd go Javonte, and I would not start any of them over Palmer. Thielen, Collins, J. Ford, Jalen Warren, Jacoby Myers. I'm starting Ford. Legendary one. Smash that like button. That's a fact, Ben. That is a fact. Dell over Flowers in PPR. I would play Flowers, but they're basically identical, if we're being honest. Oh, man. And then we're going to do last one here. And then I'm going to rapid fire the questions in 1 second. Let me just get this last player prop in. Joshua Palmer. Total receiving yards. Joshua Palmer. All right. We're spam answer questions now while I find Zach Moss. Mixon or Sanders? I'd go Mixon. Gabe Davis or Hollywood Brown? I'd go Gabe Davis. Higgins or D-Hop? Higgins. Higgins or D-Hop? Higgins. Sanders, better matchup. Nick, wish you luck. Good luck, man. Brees Hall or bust. Still no ideal matchup. Yeah, it's not an ideal matchup, but he'll be fine. With Dell over Flowers. I'm still playing Flowers, but if you want to play Dell, go right ahead. And then I need to find the Zach Moss prop, and we're going to get out of here. Thank you guys for watching today's stream. I really appreciate it. I hope I helped everyone out. Obviously, it's impossible to answer every single person's question due to the fact that there are a million of you guys now, which I really appreciate. I love you guys so much. It's crazy. Just like a couple of years ago, I would have thought that it would be impossible for this many people to watch a stream, and now it's like a fucking daily occurrence. So I really do love you guys. Najee or Pierce? Najee. Thank you. You're the man. Thank you. Tyron, just for the week's routine, rank my starting lineup. You got Hurts, Ridley, Higgins, A-Chain, Kyron. Looks pretty good. Give you a nice 8.9 out of 10. Hit that like button. You did great, bro. Thank you, Carlos. I appreciate that. I hope everyone had a great time. Go Dolphins. Fuck the Buffalo Bills. Fins by 50, baby. And if you're a Bills fan, again, don't take it personal. I don't dislike you because you're a Bills fan. I just don't like the Bills. Go Dolphins. Fins by 50. Have a great one. I really do love you guys. Philip, I love you too, man. Thank you for everything. Genuinely, you guys mean the world to me. We're almost at, 28.5 thousand subscribers, which is crazy. So couldn't have done without you guys. Good luck, everyone. Go Cards. I always root for the Cards for Ben. So good luck to all. Hit that like button on the way out. Good luck, Tyron. Good luck, everyone. Love you guys. See you guys on the Flippity Flop. Thank you to anyone who super chatted. Thank you to anyone who's just sitting here. You don't have to super chat. You can just chill in here. Spock helps you out. I help you out. I really appreciate you guys. Have a great one. And the porn bots weren't here today, or the NHL bots. So either Spock was destroying them at full blast during the stream, or they just didn't show up. One or the other, though. I appreciate you, Spock, for being here. Hollywood Brown, Gallup, Warren, Gainwell, Flex Spot. I want to be honest with you. I'd play Hollywood. Thank you. Love you guys. Have a great one. See you guys tomorrow. And see you guys Thursday with the next stream. Good boy.